In this video, I'm going to break down how to exactly use TradeLocker from start to finish, how to set it up, how to organize it, best practices, and basically how to for you to put your own customization to it, right? Everyone has their own different ways of doing things. So I'm just going to kind of show you how you can basically make this your own system, right? So let's dive in. So first and foremost, let me just kind of break down everything that you're seeing because it's a lot of information. First and foremost, up here in the corner, you're going to see the word demo. That's because I just made a new demo account. This will also say live if you have a live account, right? That's how you determine if it's demo or live. And to show you that this is 100% live, if I go to close positions, right, see all, refresh, 0 still, meaning this is a very much brand new account with nothing, no changes or anything made to it. So I can go through everything with you guys step by step. Here, up here again is the time, the candles that you would want to use, the indicators, splitting of screens, and this is basically showing you when market is open and counting down till it closes, and then when market's closed, counting down to when it's open, right? And this is just to go back and forth, like the go back pages and things like that. If you made a mistake, you can just click that and go back. Here you can name whatever this analysis may be, take a photo of it, right? Or you can enlarge it right here. Up here is the different instruments. That's what you selected. But if you click this, it will show you news, which I will break down as well. And if you come here, it's going to ask, search for your instrument that you want to trade. And if you want, you can categorize the different instruments so that way you can find them easier, or you have a favorite section that you can favorite these instruments, and then if you click this, it will be able to see all the instruments that you favorited. Now coming back over here, you have a zoom in and zoom out button, spaces, right, which will break down, and then toggling through your panels. Here is your toolbar section, which you're going to be using a lot. So I'm going to break down a lot of these that you guys can be able to use. Here's what you're trading, the time frame, the category, which is indexes, and then here you have 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, 5 years, and then go to. Here you have the different times, right? And then you can also change the time here, how you ever want to. Here is price. This is what price is, and then here is where the candle most recent to price is moving. So if this was an active market, this would be the candle that is currently active that we're focusing on, and then all this would be past data. And these are what you call candles and wicks. If you don't know that, then maybe you should start from the very beginning, right? Cool. And then here is auto. Something I want to preface this is that whenever you log in, this is going to be selected. So that means you can only move side to side. So the way I did that is I went here, clicked, hold, and went side to side. And I can only go up. I can't go up and down. I can't go diagonally. I can only go side to side. And then to zoom in, if you have like the scrolling thing on your mouse, you scroll up to zoom in, scroll down to zoom out. Same thing on price. Scroll up to zoom in, to make it bigger, and then scroll down to make it smaller. And then your auto will automatically be unchecked once you start doing that. But when you log in, it's always going to be checked like this. So I want you to uncheck this because that way you can be able to move diagonally, side to side, up and down, all in a circle like this, right? Go in and out. So it's gonna be a lot easier to just manage your own type of setting here, right? Fantastic. Now let me move myself up and let's go down here. So we have positions, pending, close, balance, trades, order history, alerts. Let me go to positions. So in positions, whenever you are in an active position, like a position that is open, you're going to have the instrument here, the side, buy or sell, the lot size, the entry, and then all the pieces of information here. On this side is where the actions are going to be of what you can do to manage the trade. And then let's say, you don't have any active positions, but you have a pending position. Here is where all your pending positions will be, like buy stops, sell stops, etc., etc. And then here will be all your closed positions, meaning this is basically how you would kind of journal your trades. You'd come in here, write everything down, put in your journal, right? This is your balance, right? As you can see, I just made this account today. And then it's also a demo account, all the trades you've taken, the order histories, and any alerts that you may have set. Now, if we continue moving over here is your balance. Over here is your profit and loss. Here is your equity. Here's your margin, margin available, and margin level percentages, right? Fantastic. Glad we're all on the same page with that. Let me move myself over to the side here so that way it's a little bit easier. And then if we're going, up here, we're going to have all the instruments we can trade, right? And then you can tell what is active, what is not by this section here. You see numbers moving, and then down below you see nothing moving, so it's closed, right? Pretty easy to understand. Now, if you look here, this is where your sells and buy buttons will be for the pair that you're trading. And this will be telling you by risking this amount, you're risking $11 and it's 1.1% of the account. To increase the lot size, you'd click here. To decrease the lot size, you'd click there. Or what you can do is also just click it here, delete, and then put whatever lot size you want to put in, right? Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Wonderful. So now that we've kind of figured all that out, let's break it down and actually show you what all these things are. So first and foremost, what I always like to do is come to the time frame up here where it says the 5 minute, right? Come to the time frame, the 5 minute, and I'm going to, these are all the different time frames that you can select, right? 1 second, 15, 30, etc., etc. What I do is I start the 1 minute, start the 5 minute, the 15, the 30, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. Now that I've done that, all of these are up here and they're favorited. So I can just go and click whatever one, and it will automatically show me the chart in that system, in that format. Here is the way how you want your candles to look. You can have a bar candle, you can have just, regular candles, you can have hollow candles, volume candles, however you want it to look like. I just leave it on candles because that's the most easiest way to do it. But if you want to customize it to make it look to your preference, you can have bars, you can have hollow candles, right? You can have, volume candles. You can have a line, which I don't know why you'd want that. Step by step, which I don't know why I don't know why you'd want that. High and lows, right? A lot of different reasons, right? But candles is the one I use. Indicators. There you have endless indicators, right? So all you would have to do is just type it in here, select it, and then it will pop up. So for example, let's do RSI, relative strength index, and then it will pop up down here, and then you can adjust it. There's a line in between here, and you can go up, down, make it bigger. Again, you can zoom in, you can make this smaller, right? There's a lot of things that you can do. So, and if you want to delete this, you just click the trash can, and that's how you do that, right? Now here is where you can save your indicator templates, right? So if you have a certain template you want to do, you can just put it in there. If you want to go back, right, of what you just did, it's going to do that. If you want to redo it, then you go there. Here you can just kind of save what this layout looks like, save it. If you want to take a photo, a snapshot of this, you can. If you want to expand this, you can expand it. And that's how that would work. Here, you have all the different instruments. So if I were to click one, it will bring up that pair for that moment in time, right? And you can click the time frame, make this bigger. Again, zoom in, make it bigger, right? Accommodate to your liking. Now, the cool thing is TradeLocker has a news feature where it can talk about the news with that specific instrument, or you can do all your favorites, which we're about to add some, or just all news in general of what's going on in the markets, right? So that's pretty cool for TradeLocker. Now, you can also categorize cryptos, energies, and everything else that you need to be able to trade what it is that you want to trade, or a lot easier is you can just kind of look for what you're looking to trade. Something that I do to make things super easy is once I get this set up, I find the pairs I'm going to trade. So for example, you can just kind of look for them down here, right? Browse, you can categorize, or you can just type in the search bar. So I'm going to type in US30 and I'm going to right click US30 and I'm going to add to favorites. Boom, now it's added favorites. It has a star next to it. I'm going to do that for all the pairs that I trade personally. So I trade the NASDAQ, which for me it's US Tech, or it could be US 100, NAS 100, S&P 500, which is for me is uh, US 500, right? So I'm going to favorite that. and then gold, which for me is XAUUSD, and then favorite that. So now if I delete this and I click my star button, it's going to show me all my favorites, and then all I gotta do is just click whatever it is, and boom, it shows up. And that's how you kind of toggle through the different pairs there. Fantastic. Let's move on. Now the zoom in is just the whole entire platform. Zoom out is the whole entire platform. Spaces, this is your trading space, but then you also have a bot studio. If you know how to code and do things, you can come in here and convert your ideas into trading bots, right? There's a whole tutorial on how to do that. You can backtest your strategy, do a lot of different things, right? And then if you want to go back to the main trading place, you go to trade. Here are your different panels. So if I hover over here, you can see all the way on the other side of the screen, there's something that's selected. It's the trading panel, right? So if I just undo that, you'll see that pop up again. If I click it, it'll disappear. If I click it again, it'll show up. Here, let me move myself over here. If I go here, again, you see the order panel. If I just click that, it disappears. And then following that, we have a trading panel, which is down here. So if I click the trading panel, it can disappear as well, right? And that's how you kind of customize that to your liking. I just leave this how it is. If anything, there's a line in between here. So if I just kind of go here, you'll see this line pop up. You can drag it up, drag it down, do however you please. Same thing here. Left, right, right, left, right. Cool. And that's kind of what I do. Let me put that back over here. Now over here, like I mentioned, you have feedback and help. So if you want to get some help, put some feedback, what's new, guides, or access to Discord, you can. Here's your network stability. There's really nothing happens when you click it. Here is settings. This is pretty important. Here you have trading settings. So you can do one-click trading, which will show you, will basically allow you to just click buy, click sell without needing to confirm. So this is very important. I would click yes, right? Trades on chart. This will have a little arrow on the days and candles and moments that you traded on, right? And then you can allow push notifications to your phone if you'd like. And if you wanted invert margin level, which is not really recommended, you can input that as well. Data privacy. This is just cookie things, right? Security, managing the devices that you're logged into, and then preference on your chart panel, right? Showing asking price. If you want to show how you can iSheet bid price, show stop loss and TP handles at all times, reload charts. There's however you want to customize that. It's pretty easy to understand on this point, right? And then to exit, you click X here. Cool. So now we covered all this. Let's go over the tools. So this is going to be your crosshair tool where you can use a crosshair, you can use a dot, right? Or you can use an arrow, right? Or you can use demonstration, right? Or you can use an eraser, whatever. I just leave the crosshair tool. It's kind of just my thing. I just like it better that way, less complicated. Here is going to be your your lines. You have trend lines, red line, info line, extended, trend angle, etc., 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 etc. You have all these different tools you can use. I personally use the trend line, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to favorite, and you can see it pops up right here. I also use the horizontal line, so I'm going to favorite those two. So now if I ever wanted to use it, I can just click it, and then click once, and then now I can just move my trend line however I want, and then to release it, I will click again, and then now I have one of my lines there. Now, if I wanted to delete it, I can click it, click delete, right? Now, horizontal line. If I want to place a horizontal line, let's say like right here, boom, fantastic. It's set there. If I want to move it up, I click this little box here, go down, up, whatever I want to place it. And you're always going to see this little toolbox up here. So you can change the color if you'd like. You can, make the color, the lines bigger, smaller, however you want to make them. And then you can also make it a dashed line. You can make it a dotted line, right? Or make it just a regular line. Here is a little bit settings. You can put a text on your line. So click text, type in something cool, right? And then if you want to change the color, you can change the color and click OK, and it's going to be there. But if you want that to change, let's say you want that on the side or this side, you can just click, the bottom, top, which is going to go at the bottom or the top, or leave it in the middle. And then this is center, so you can do left. Now it's in the left. Now you can do right. Now it's on the right. But if you say it looks too small, you can bold it, and then click here and then make it bigger, right? And then coordinates, you can leave that as is. That's just kind of putting it where you want to price. And then visibility, you don't really need to touch this. It's just saying on what time frames you want this to be shown, right? And then to delete it, well, to lock it in place, you just click that. So now you can't move this, right? So now no one will ever be able to move it. Following that, if you want to delete it, you can just do one of two things. Click it, click delete, like that. Yes, remove. Or if you want to, right, click the trash can. Simple as that, right? Here is where a lot of your other tools are, your Fibonacci things, right? So I don't use any of these, but if you ever did, you could always favorite, star it, and add it to your toolkit right here. Over here, there are patterns. If you used any of these, you can add it to your favorite section over here if you'd like to. I don't. Here is your projections. I use long and I use short. So that's what we can look at, right? And then this is kind of what this would show you here. Now, how this works is this is a long position. So we just move our positions like this, kind of like trading view. And then we would just bring this up. And then as you can see, it's going to tell you, all right, open P&L. It's a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So this is the 1, this is the 3, right? And that's how that works. And then if you want to click it, again, that the tools come up here. If you want to do a different, stop background, if you want to do a profit background, if you want to change the settings a bit, right? Inputs, style, whatever it may be, you can play with it. I don't, I leave it as is. So I can, if I want to delete it, I click it. You can click the remove button, or you can just click delete on your keyboard, which is what I do. Same thing for shorts, right? Adjust the stop loss like this, adjust the take profit levels like this. It shows you the risk to reward is 1 to 4. Great, same exact concepts up here. If you want to delete it, click delete on your keyboard, or you can just click remove here. Fantastic. Now you have your brushes, your arrows, and your shapes. I use rectangle every single morning. But if you ever wanted to use arrows or things like that, brushes, highlighters to go over things, or any other type of shapes, you can add it to your favorites and it will come here in this toolbar. Text. If you ever want to use text for something, talking about buy here, sell there, make a comment, price label, whatever it may be, you can post that into here, or just add it to your favorite toolkit and utilize it. Here is there's a bunch of emojis. I don't use any of this. I don't know why you would, but freedom. And then here is going to be your measuring tool. This is basically to measure, pips, right? So the way I did that was I clicked here and then I just click on my screen, drag up and sideways so it can expand, click it one more time to release it, and then you can see how many pips, how many bars, the volume, etc., right? Cool. And then if you just want to get rid of it, you click away on the screen, it will do it that way. And then here you can have a magnifying glass to zoom in, right? Which I don't know why as you would want to do that, but that is how that works. And then you have all these other magnetic strongs, a bunch of other things down here. Lock the screen, hide your drawings, or just delete all your drawings that you have, right? Here, if you uncheck the star box, the star button, not the star button, the favorite button will disappear. But if you click it again, it will show up. And I just recommend leaving it here so it's easier to access and things of that nature. If I click the 1 daily, it's going to show me the daily chart, the 5-day chart, the 1 month, 1 month, 3 month, and that's kind of the charts that it's going to show me, right? Fantastic. Now we're getting somewhere, okay? Now we've done a lot. We've covered basically all the top side of things. Now we need to cover the execution, how to take trades and things of that nature. So I'm going to unfavorite my section here, and I'm just going to go to BTC USD. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm taking a trade, right? I click my rectangle. The way I use it is I click it once, open it, drag, click again, and it releases, right? And let's say I do it again here, open, click, open, drag, release by clicking it, right? If you want to add text, you can add text. I don't, I just leave it as is. Now, let's say I want to take, I don't know, let's say I wanted to take a buy on this, right? Or sell, whatever. What I can do is I can just click sell or click buy. So I'm just going to click one of these. I'm going to click sell, right? And it opened up a position. And now you can see down here, right? that there's something there in the position bar. So now it's going to break down the instrument, what I took, the sell, the lot size, the entry price, and what's happening in the market. There's no stop loss, there's no take profit. The margin's $50, exposure is this, and created at this time. Profit and loss matches the same as profit and loss here, but also note the equity is going up and down because you're not fully out of the trade yet. So you can still make money, you can still win, you can still lose, whatever happens, happens, right? Position ID, and then over here are the actions. Let's go one by one. This is going to mean close full. Just close 100% of your profit or your loss. Close half of your position, right? If you want to close half of your position, take some profit off the table, or maybe you over leveraged or risk too much and you want to, adjust the risk, you can do it that way. Here is break even, which I'll explain, and then here is the edit position, right? So to be able to utilize this correctly, I'm just going to click full exit. And then when you see in here, there's no pending positions, but there is a closed position, right? I lost 45 cents, right? And you can see that here, and it shows in my equity. Now, what I want to show you is a position to do potentially break even. So I'm going to click sell again, right? And now I'm just going to wait for this to be in profit for a second. And as that's waiting to be in profit, if I want to edit this position, I can click edit, and it will bring up this bar here. And not this bar, this little chart. You have a stop loss and a take profit section. If you click stop loss, it's going to bring a line. Let me make myself smaller. It's going to bring a line like this. And then all you have to do is click and hold and drag to wherever you want to put your stop loss. Let's say I put it there, right? That's where my stop loss is going to be. And if I want to confirm that, I click confirm. Now my stop loss is there. If I want to put a take profit, I redo the process. I do edit position and I put take profit. Let's say I think this is going to come down to here, right? That is going to show me how much I'm going to make, right? So that's $200.26. I mean, $226.01, right? So what I'm going to do now is I can just click confirm. And then now I have my stop loss and take profit set. Fantastic, right? Now that we're in for 0.02, we can do a couple different things. We can take half profit. We can go break even stop loss. Well, not right now because we're not in profit yet. But if I wanted to take, for example, let's say this was plus 40 cents, right? And I wanted to take half profit. What I would do is I would click this position, click this button, and it will pop up like this. To reduce half, all you do is click that one. Or if you want, you can just type it in, right? So basically, you're going to just take half of whatever it is that you risked. And then once you click close, this will now show you 0.01. It will show you 20 cents or so. And then your close positions, it will show that you took 20-cent loss. So if I'm going to do that right now for you guys. Boom, closed. 20-cent loss, 0.01, close positions. You see here, that's how you do that, right? Now, we're going to continue to wait to see once this gets into profit to show you break even. Break even is the same every time. All you got to do is click it once and it will show you. And then instead of it saying update take profit, it will just say update stop loss to entry. And then you click it and then it will just do that, right? Great, cool. Now let's talk about pending positions. So there's ways to do that. One, you can open up this box here and you can do market or pending, whichever one. What I tend to do a lot easier is you see this little plus sign. You can do a lot with this. This plus sign, you can do an alert, pending, stop loss, or take profit. If alert means an alert, so now you have that alert set, it will be posted here, meaning when price hits this, it's going to give me an alert. So that way that I can be able to just do what I need to do when price comes, and I will get notified if I have my push notifications on. To close the alert, you click this X button on the side here. Now, if I want to do a pending order, I click here, click pending, right, and it's going to bring up this. So let me just take this out, right? You have whatever you have here. Let's say here, pending order. Now it's going to show me this: sell, stop, or buy limit. If I open this up, it's going to sell or buy. I'm going to click, let's click sell, right? So meaning once price comes into there, it's going to hit that. I can do a stop loss, click the stop loss, and let's say I put it up here, click the take profit. Let's say I put my take profit level here, right? And then all I got to do is just, I can, adjust my lots here and there, right? And I click that, and now I have my pending order, which now you see you have one pending order over here. And now you're going to be able to just see that, and once it executes, but you can also edit the position, or you can just cancel the pending position. So I'm just going to cancel this. Cool. So we covered a lot so far. Now, what I want to cover is how to do proper risk management on TradeLocker. This is very important, right? So proper risk management is pretty easy to do. So I'm just going to refresh. Actually, no, I'm not going to refresh. This is kind of what you see when you log in. You see sell, buy, your lot size, market, risk, stop loss, TP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. And let's say I'm taking a sell position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do stop loss. And let's say I'm going to put my stop loss right here, right? I'm then going to click risk. Now, in this where it says percentage, you can either do a dollar amount or you can do a percentage amount. I personally like to do percentage amount. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to do 2.5 and I'm going to click enter. That means I don't have enough margin to do that or enough capital. So I'm going to bring this down, and then now you see it's 0.01, meaning if you bring it too high up, that means you don't have enough to actually make this trade happen. But if you bring it down a little bit here, still not enough. If I bring it here, okay, I have enough. So that means my lot size is going to be 0.01, and I'm risking 2.5%, which is $24. And then I can also click take profit, put it here if I want to, and then boom, I have my stop loss and my take profit all set, and I'm using proper risk management, right? And fantastic. Now life is good, and I can click sell, and it will put me in the position. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm already in one. Now let's say I want to cancel this. You just click X, and then you can just bring that down. Now, something that TradeLocker has is a trailing stop loss. So if I want to trail my stop loss, all I have to do is click trail, confirm, and now as price moves, let me just go down a smaller time frame. As price moves down, you will start to see my stop loss comes down, right? And you'll start to notice this as I'm explaining more things, right? So we'll wait for this to come down some more. But as this is coming down some more, you can also see that I have entries here, right? The the open red is the sell that I took, right? The closed green means I closed the sell position. So meaning if I was in profit, and if I was in profit, I was buying, it'd be the other way. It'd be an opened buy, be an open green arrow and a closed red arrow, right? Now that we're in profit, I can now click break even, and it's going to say update stop loss. Now my stop loss is going to come all the way up from there to down here to entry. And I'm about to get stopped out. Maybe we'll see. But as this comes down, you'll start to see that this stop loss will continue to come down with it. Why? Because we have a trailing stop. Right. Oh, I forgot to click confirm. Now we have a trailing stop loss. Right. So let's see if this actually does trail. As you can see, it's already kind of trailing a bit. Yeah. So you see it's coming down as price is coming down. And that's how you do your trailing stop loss. This is pretty good if, there it is, there it goes, right? This is pretty good if you want to go live your life, live your day, and you're just done with the trade, right? But let's say that you're like, all right, I'm just done for the day. I don't think it's going to go down anymore. I'm just going to take my money. You click X, and that's how you do that. Fantastic. Now I didn't show you the news. No, I did show you the news. It shows you everything. If you want to click it, it will take you to the actual page. If you want to do that. Now I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not sure as to what it is. Time-wise here, if you want to switch the time zone, you click here, and you can just switch whatever time zone. I do New York, and now it's going to be in New York time zone, right? And that's how that works. Cool. So that is everything. This is how you use TradeLocker from start to finish. And Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully it gives you enough information to be able to start utilizing it on your own. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.